Good morning, buddy. You enjoying your morning treat? Good job, Jaw. Always good to see you every morning. Nice to know you're happy, right? Well, good morning, Lionhearts. It's your old pal, Jordan the Lion. I hope you're having a great day. We, together, are about to have a great day. First, we're going to take Jaw over to probably Silver Lake and let him play. And then we're going to bring him back. And I'm going to head out to Topanga and I'm going to go visit Michael and Christina and the new baby. And maybe do the vlog out there. There's something I'm going to vlog out there. I'm going to see if I can get on the property to do it. If not, we'll do the vlog when we come back here. So let's do it. Daze with Jordan the Lion begins now. Yes. Alright, well, we made it out here. Let's see if he feels like playing. This is always a hit or miss. Sometimes he just wants to watch and watch and watch, and then some days he wants to be the center of attention doing figure eights out in the dirt. They're all gonna go crazy now. Every time a dog shows up, they all go crazy. Alright, we're done here at the park. I'm going to go ahead and take Jaw home and head out to Topanga Canyon. I figure they have enough commotion going on. They don't need to add Jaw to the mix. We're headed out to Topanga, and before we go to Michael and Christina's, like I said, there was something I was hoping to vlog out there. I made a call, and actually one of the family members is out there today, so hopefully we'll get to vlog that. They had me send them an email example of what I do, and hopefully by the time we get out there we'll have an answer. Alright, so we just got our phone call, and the deal is that we are going to come back tomorrow and vlog this because the person I want to talk to actually has another appointment and is taking off, but we're going to go back out here and do it again tomorrow. So the road that we're traveling down now is the one that Jim Morrison wrote about when he said, "Keep your eyes on the road and your hands upon the wheel." Let it roll, baby, roll. Gotta love Topanga Canyon. Great little community. Well, if we can't do option 1, we will do option 2 in Topanga Canyon. The story of Alan Blind Owl Wilson from Canned Heat. This abandoned graffitied property behind here is the location of where Alan was found dead in 1970. Some say of a suicide, some say of just a flat-out drug overdose. Now you can probably tell this is a little too modern to be a house from 1970. It's because it is. Something I would almost say haunted about this property. Do you see that? I kept hearing crackling. I guess I have company out here. That deer. So on this hillside behind this house that's falling apart in every way possible, that's where Alan Blind Owl Wilson was found dead. Now, Alan Wilson and Bob Hite were basically the foundation of the band Canned Heat. And Canned Heat was this boogie blues band from the 60s that was, I mean, they were everywhere. They played Monterey Pop Festival in '67 with Hendrix. They played Woodstock, even though they weren't on the soundtrack of Woodstock originally. They did perform there, and they even used to perform with John Lee Hooker. Now, there was just tragedy basically surrounding this band because Bob Haidt, like in 1981, over a decade later after Alan Wilson would die, he would be performing at the Palomino Club, which we have vlogged before, and a fan gave him a vial of speed. He thought it was coke. He did it and basically overdosed in the parking lot, and some friends drove him to a local house where he died. Now, 10 years before, Blind Owl. Now, how Alan got that name was that it wasn't just a like catchy blues name. He was actually pretty much blind. They said he was so nearsighted that if he had his glasses off, he couldn't recognize like his own bandmates within like 2 feet away. And so they said he always struggled with depression, even when he was in groups. They said he was like very antisocial, introverted, and at the age of 27, they said he had apparently made some suicidal attempts just weeks before he actually died. They said he came out here and did an abundance of drugs and was found dead laying up on this hill right up here. Pretty sad. They said they were never able to figure out whether it was like a suicide, because he didn't leave a suicide note, and nobody really knew because music was the only thing that really seemed to make him happy. Now, why I say that this area almost seems like it's cursed is because the house that was here caught on fire. Then they built another house, and I believe an earthquake destroyed that one. And then then they built this house that's here now, and some way that they built it, or just something with the freaking land here, it started sinking and breaking apart, and so they deemed it not safe to live in. And I can totally see why. We'll get a little closer, but as you get closer and see, you can see that like the walls and everything are literally breaking apart. And plus they said one of the reasons that they ended up getting rid of the last house that was here was because they were getting a big problem with squatters and people that, as Michael would tell me, there's a creek that runs right here along this, and he said they get a lot of creek dwellers, like people that live down in here, and so they've probably taken this over. They come and spray paint and everything up there. You can see, yeah, this place is just totally falling apart. A Canned Heat, one of their biggest songs was On the Road Again. It wasn't a Willie Nelson cover. It was a song that Alan wrote, so that will be probably his legacy. So from right here off to the side of the house, you can see that hill behind. And it was maybe a fitting death, I guess you would have to say, because I guess Alan was always a massive nature lover, and just one of his passions was botany. So to end up passing out here under the stars in Topanga Canyon was probably as good as it got for him. He actually had an organization while he was alive that was around basically to bring awareness to the beauties of the earth and how important the moon and the ecology and everything was. And sadly, when he passed away, it pretty much fell by the wayside, and that went away as well. Now, when Alan died, he was part of that infamous 27 club, people that died at the age of 27, the Jim Morrisons, the Kurt Cobains, and I guess unfortunately for his legacy, he died 2 weeks before Jimi Hendrix died and like 4 weeks before Janis Joplin died, so he just kind of gets forgotten about and lost in the mix. But yeah, behind me is where Alan Wilson was found dead. Yeah, take a look at that. You can see how the walls are bowing out, and that is those are like concrete cinder blocks. And the one behind it as well. That pink one right there. Yeah, you can see why it wouldn't be safe to live in. And one of Alan's favorite places to play, or one of Canned Heat's favorite places to play, was actually right up the road. It was the old Topanga Corral that Jim Morrison wrote about in Roadhouse Blues. He also had a, I believe like he had a place that they would let him stay behind there. So on our way out at Topanga Canyon, I'll pull over and show you where that used to be. Now let's go see the baby. One last look over here. There's the hillside. And if you don't know much about Topanga, the reason people live in Topanga Canyon is because most of them have an affinity for botany or just preserving the earth. All right. Michael has been a busy guy. He's still in the process of renovating. This room used to be so low that he and I couldn't even walk through here. You had to walk in here like all hunched over, so they lowered the ground and everything so he can do his fatherly duties. Yeah. All right, I just got done visiting the baby, and they didn't want the baby on camera, and Christina just had the baby, so she didn't necessarily want to be on camera, so I'm sure you guys understand. It was more of a personal stop. So we're gonna head out to Topanga Canyon now, and on our way out, what we're gonna do is we're gonna stop by a place called Froggy's. I'm gonna tell you how Froggy's is connected to one of our past vlogs, and then I'm gonna stop by what used to be where the Topanga Corral was located that I told you earlier about, and its Jim Morrison connection. And I just wouldn't feel right if I didn't show you some of that Topanga landscape before we head out of here. Cool house. So now we are in front of a place called Froggy's. And Froggy's goes back to an old vlog that I did when I had surgery on my hand. Michael brought me out here to kind of relieve my depression and let me choose something to vlog out here, and I did Neil Young's house that he recorded after the gold rush in. So if you want to kind of brush up on that, go find my vlog. It's titled Neil Young's After the Gold Rush House. And in that I tell the whole story of Neil coming out to Topanga, falling in love with the area, and writing and recording that record out here. Now what I also mentioned in there is he found an eatery that he loved to go to at the time and fell in love with the waitress and ended up marrying the waitress. Now, at the time, that place was called the Gold Rush. The Gold Rush every day served breakfast, but it was actually an American Legion hall. And one night a week, they would have Legion activities. This is it. Froggy's is now what was the Gold Rush. So I don't even think Froggy's is actually open anymore, but you can tell this is exactly what we were looking for, because, hi Froggy, if you look right up there, there's the American Legion sign. So that's definitely our place. The old Gold Rush. Hence the name that Neil Young gave it, After the Gold Rush, because after the Gold Rush was every day he would come have his breakfast here, and then he would go write and go work on his new album. Pretty cool. Alright, one last stop in Topanga Canyon and then we head back to Hollywood. Well, here's the empty plot of land where it once was. Right over here, located right there, was the Topanga Corral, made famous by performances by local Topanga Canyon musicians like Little Feat and Taj Mahal, and of course Canned Heat. But like I said, this was where they said Jim Morrison based his Roadhouse Blues off of. This was the Roadhouse, and they said they even had a little shack behind the place that Jim was allowed to crash at when he needed to. So, no longer here, but I did find an old picture that I'll match up, and you can see that it used to sit right over there. It's unfortunate. They did have issues out here as far as disasters. I think they had fires and stuff, but it closed on its own accord. They had a big, basically like going away party, and Taj Mahal performed. Hello, good to see you. Well, look at this. We got a box from Marianne Bazinet, It is a treasure trove of food for jaw, treats, and all kinds of stuff. What a lucky dog, man, right? Good grief. That's for you. Well, that is it, gang. We inadvertently did a rock and roll of Topanga Canyon vlog today. And what I was kind of thinking of doing earlier, we're going to do tomorrow. It's going to be a great vlog, so don't miss out. Come back and see me. Wanted to send a big shout out thank you to Kathy DeJohn Myers and Sandra Martina Rowinska for becoming my newest Patreons, and thank you all for watching. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a great night, and goodbye.